It's Emil. It's Emil Guillermo. Emil, I'm up to you. How are you? Hey, I'm not hearing myself. Why is that? Why is that, Emil? Why aren't you? You should be hearing yourself. I should be. Welcome to our takeout. My takes on all things considerable. We are. Let's see. I have to make sure my headphones are on in the right place. Yeah, they are. They are. But well, we'll just go with it. We'll just and if you're there, you're there. Hi everyone. We've been traveling, so we're in an awkward setup. Usually, I usually we are in our closet studio, and now we're in a closet apartment uh, in New York City for the New York City Fringe, and the final two shows of Emil Amok, Lost NPR host, Wiley Filipino, vegan trans dad, are on Friday night, 8:10 p.m. at Under St. Mark's Theater, and then repeating again on Sunday at 5:20 p.m. at Under St. Mark's. See it live, or if you are catching this at via computer, definitely you can live stream the show live stream. So there it is. Emil Muckloss, NPR host. I've had fun doing it, but I've had these long periods of time when I've been down, and it's been I must say it's been difficult kind of to keep the momentum up. But I think Friday's show is going to be a good show. Sunday show, the final show, is going to be definitely it's going to be a good show. And so we'll just see. We'll see how it goes. Now, I know if you. I hope you can hear me. My I can't tell because I have my like I said, I'm just doing this without my studio setup, but I think I should be able to hear myself. What if I cut out the music? Oh, the music doesn't matter. I like the music. I like the background music. So one of the things I've been doing while I've been here is I've been watching the Trump trial. I'm not credentialed to be inside. There's the overflow down at the courthouse, but I thought, now I'll just stay where I am in New York because it's hard enough to get around and just observe what's being reported. And it's kind of screwy. There were some mistakes I caught in some major publications about which which jurors were going to get ousted today. Let's see. Someone has sent me a message. Put notice around. Okay. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that message means. You can message me on Facebook, and I think we're going live on Instagram as well. But anyway, the back to the Trump trial. There were two jurors who were kicked off. One was an oncology nurse who feared that too much information was put out about her, which there probably was, frankly, and because the reporting has been pretty, people have been trying to figure out who these jurors were. I did a piece on the Aldiff blog that I hope one of the jurors would be Asian, but we haven't seen that. I mean, I don't know anything from the descriptors of whether or not there's an Asian juror. Now, of course, why is it important to have an Asian juror? Well, of course you know why it's important to have an Asian juror. I mean, you have to have an Asian juror if you're really going to be the people against Donald Trump. You better be reflective. The jury better be reflective of uh, Asian of the populace of New York, and that would include Asian Americans. So far, I don't know if we have that or not. They said they have 12 jurors, but here's the thing that's interesting. They need 18. they have one alternate, and I would just hope that they get an Asian juror. I'd like to see. Well, it's our stereotype, right? The Asian juror is a stereotype in modern pop culture. If you look at any courtroom crime drama, I know all my unemployed actors out there who are Asian American who read for parts know that the role of juror number 1 or juror number 9 is always an Asian American part. So I would hope there's an Asian American. All right, now this is I'm just trying to do a test here, a test of but see now my controls are all different here. And I'm gonna pop open this. There. I stopped it. Now I I stopped the music. Can you hear me? You should be able to hear me. You should. I hope you do. All right. It says that I'm here, although I can't hear it. I can't hear it on my headphones. I don't have the kind of headphones that confirm that I'm recording. I would hope. I would hope that I'm recording now. All right. So here's my plan, because this has been a topsy turvy day. When they started out with 7, they were down to 5. And then they said, like almost like within a half hour of closing, I think what happened was the attorneys ran out of peremptory strikes. And so they had to race out there and, well, I mean, without strikes, you couldn't challenge any jurors, so they were quickly able to fill the remaining 7 spots. So they got to 12, but they didn't get to 18. And so now the question is, how do you get to 18? They're at 12 jurors seated and 1 alternate. They're at 13. They need 5 more alternates. Should be easy, but they're going to go at it again on Friday, and they're going to have maybe another 90 come through, and without any challenges, they should be able to fill the alternates fairly easily, but it's unclear. So I I have a better plan. Instead of starting out with 0 jurors and having a big pool and then selecting, jurors one by one, my plan, and I've run this by some lawyers and they don't like the idea, but I like the idea. What if you randomly select from the jury pool, you're 18, and you start out with 18? You start out with 18 jurors, 12 impaneled as jurors and 6 alternates right from the start. And then you start picking apart the 12. And every time you take one out, you put one in, no matter where you are, you have 18. It seems a lot easier than going the other way, starting with 0 and then drawing from a pool and building your 18 from that. At least that's the way I see it. Am I crazy? I don't think I'm crazy, but that would seem to be an efficient use of time, and time is the enemy in court, right? Because time, the lack of it, creates delays for the process to work. It just seems to me that it would be far more efficient to start off randomly selected 18. I mean, randomness is a powerful scientific factor. In polls, if you don't have randomness, your poll is essentially what they call, for entertainment purposes. But it's science if it's random, a poll, a public opinion poll. So use the power of randomness to bring that into jury selection, and suddenly you start out from if you get names from a voter poll, or from the voter rolls, or however they select. I think that some people mention driver's licenses, but I think it's voter rolls. You take the people from the voter rolls, and just like Powerball numbers, you pop up 18. Out of these, randomly selected group, you got your poll, you got your panel, you got your jury, alternates plus the full 12. So the magic number of 18 is reached. That's what you need. to make this thing go smoothly. And then the judge can say, hey, look, we're going to spend 2 days to do this, and that's it. Because Judge Marchand wants to get this done and get it going on Monday. But, considering where they were, it was unclear if they were going to get there. Now it looks like they're probably going to get there because they only have 5 alternates to pick to round out the 18. But I think this is a good solution to the problem of speed in jury selection. If you want, you can add more challenges. Both sides get 10 challenges. You might add another 5 challenges, but at any point, you have your full complement of 18. All right, that's the Emil Guillermo jury plan. You may hate it. You may, oh, Emil, this sounds like there's problems there. All right, yeah, but this is a new idea, or at least I made it up, right? And maybe something to consider. All right, where else are we? Um, my show Friday tomorrow, and then Sunday at 5:20. I hope you can make it. And if you can't make it, I hope you can live stream it. All right, that's it. I'm going to cut it short today. But I've been watching the Trump trial. Oh, I really think you got to have an Asian, and not just because this deals with business and trying to find $130,000 in hush money or anything like that, but you need to be reflective of the populace. And if there are no Asians, I'll be very, very disappointed. They had to kick out the one Puerto Rican guy because of some background thing. There's one black woman on the panel. She's a teacher. There's an Irish immigrant who's the foreman. As far as the other identities, I'm not quite so sure. It hasn't been reported widely, but I know there are at least 2. They got rid of the Puerto Rican guy. Are there any Asians? Are there any Hispanics? Are there any people of color? I think that's important. We don't know. We'll see as the jury selection. I think it should be finished by tomorrow, and then the trial begins. Then the action and the fireworks begin. So that'll be exciting. All right. I'm off to see a friend to do a story, but the New York City Fringe, a good fest. Everyone I know connected with the festival is very, very happy, very upbeat about how much more successful the festival is this year than last. Um, the They were telling me that it was I know they more than doubled the ticket sales on the first couple of days, and considering that I was part of last year's festival and this year's festival, I am pleased that I am both part of the problem and the solution. So that's good. One of the people who came to my show on on Saturday, um, I talked to afterwards a Filipino woman, uh, Filipino American, like me, born here. And she brought her kids. And she said, I asked her, did you know any of this history? And of course, she said no, she didn't. And so I said, well, why don't you know this history? Her kids knew the history. She said she didn't know it because she was in a highly tracked academic program in the New York City public schools that did not do anything but pre-med. So she was totally in the dark as far as Asian American Filipino history. And I asked her if she knew any of the stuff that I referred to in my show. And she said, sadly, no, she didn't. So it's a good way to pick up some Asian American Filipino history going to see my show, Emil, Amok, lost NPR host, wildly Filipino, vegan trans dad. NPR is in a world of trouble right now because they had some right wing kind of guy who came on, and he was an editor at NPR, wrote a piece for a right wing publication, and the right wing is seized on it to say, oh, look at the bias at NPR. It's unfortunate because NPR has some problems, but I don't think it's a lack of diversity in opinion. I think they do have some other basic diversity problems, like, as I say in my show, they had a problem letting in people in 1989, 1990. I mean, the move toward diversity to get to where NPR is now is really actually kind of amazing. it's much better now than it was. It still has some problems, but I think the right wing is trying to seize on an issue, and it's part of a whole anti-diversity thing, trying to knock NPR. There are reasons to knock NPR, but a lack of diversity of opinion, I don't think, is one of them. Boy, just trying to get a Filipino American to host at NPR, that was not easy. And it was coming from all directions, conservatives and liberals. And I'm glad to say that now NPR seems to have solved that, but there are all these other issues when it comes to diversity. As I said, diversity of opinion. You got the right, really hammering on NPR for that. The editor who wrote that piece got, I think he resigned. I think he was going to get fired, but he resigned. And so, uh, if you're into the NPR story, find out what it was like when NPR was celebrating its 20th anniversary. That's part of my show. Emil Amok, lost NPR host, wily Filipino vegan trans dad. The wily Filipino part, actually, a woman stopped me today and she said, you know, Wiley, I got wily Filipino, Emil. That's Marlon Brando was talking to Larry King on CNN years ago, and he mentioned how we've seen the wily Filipino. Steve Martin actually did a satirical essay in the New Yorker about it. So where is the wily Filipino? Who is the wily Filipino? It was funny, but when he wrote it in I think it was 1998, 1999, I the Filipinos were generally invisible even then, and I didn't find it funny. I just I was PC humorless. I admit to being that, and since then I have read Steve Martin's Wily Filipino essay, and I found it funny. And I thought, oh, that must be growth in me. But anyway, I add Wily Filipino to my title because there was one Wily Filipino I knew. It was my dad, and I talk about him and the vegan trans dad part. Well, this is part of the 3 generation story that is in Emil Amok, lost NPR host, because I talk about me, my dad, my son, 3 generations in an hour. Oh my God. Oh my God. Under St. Mark's, 94 St. Mark's Place, uh, under St. Mark's Theater in New York City. Don't miss it. 5:20 on Friday Eastern Time, and you can let's see. No, excuse me. Friday, 8:10 p.m. 8:10 p.m. on Friday. Ha. 8:10 Eastern Time. But if you catch the live stream, and you're in the West Coast, that would be 5:10 p.m. Pacific. All right, and then Sunday 5:20 p.m. Eastern, which is a nice matinee on the Pacific time zone. So I hope you can catch it. Go to amok.com/tickets to be redirected to the site to get your tickets. No one will be refused. It's not like a Trump jury. If you want to come, you can come. Sliding scale. But come see the show. All right, that's it. Emil Amok here. Thank you for joining me. We've been erratic with our live takes, but we got a lot of them. And like I said, I've been watching the Trump trial. Uh, I I think my plan to speed up jury selection is good. Start out with 18, randomly select 18 people. Now you got your 18. Then you go after with the challenges. Give more challenges to the lawyers instead of 10, make it 15, make it 20, and then let them like take people away. But you're at any time, if you should want to start your trial, you have 18 impaneled. You have 18. You don't have to like build and then find out something and then you're back down again. You always have 18. I like that idea. And you have high school debate to thank because back when I was in high school, the the jury or the debate topic in high school was resolve that the jury system be significantly changed. And wow, what a great topic. It's a debate topic that keeps on giving in life, I'll say. All right. All right, that's it for me. If you missed any or all, go back to the beginning. Check us out on YouTube at the Emil Muck channel, and definitely don't miss the New York City Fringe. I'm really very proud to have been part of this year. It's been it's been fun seeing all the different shows and being in New York, just being in New York in April. All right, Emil Amok here. Till next time. We like to end with a little loving kindness because throw the love out, it comes back twofold. And so I always end off with a little metta loving kindness prayer. As I wish for me, I wish for you. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be healthy. And may you live with ease. Till next time, Emil Guillermo here. Mahal Kita.